Hey, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. How you doing? Like I said before, if you've heard this show before, like I said before, it is not on a schedule. It's whenever I feel like doing a show, and I pop it on here. And so my suggestion is keep watching Spreaker. Who knows? You might see me live at some point. Now, I just got done listening. I just finished listening to the Alex Jones Show. I heard some of Glenn Beck this morning, and I can say this. And I'm going to say this. Matter of fact, I wrote it out so I wouldn't forget, but there's more to it. So I will make sure that I say it right. And like I said, there's more to it, and so I want to be very clear. On Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook, you'll find this. And I just want to say hello to the Love Muffin Jen in the Spreaker chat. How you doing? I just want to say this. Hey, Jen, if you just joined me. This show is not on a regular schedule. I'm kind of like Chris Top. Don't know when I'm going to be on. But I got something to say. I'm going to say it very distinctly and very succinctly, and there's more, but I want to say this. And I know that you can listen to the past episodes and you'll understand where I'm coming from. But I wrote this morning. I'm going to say this. Regardless of what others have told you, this is on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Go check this out. Read it along if you'd like. Regardless of what others have told you, what you know, believe, or understand, Alex Jones is right, as well as Glenn Beck. You cannot, if you cannot handle that, not my problem. I've questioned things they've said, studied what they've said, watched what they've said, listened and seen the fruits of what they have said. Others have said the same thing. I've studied what our government does and is doing and will do by following the money trail. And I have come to the conclusion that something is going to happen in a very, very short time. If anyone says that Glenn Beck or Alex Jones or Michael Savage or anyone like that are wrong, obviously they have no idea there is a bigger picture they are missing. Frankly, I'm done with people that will not look at the whole picture, every little aspect of the whole picture, or tell me I am wrong. We can debate, we can discuss, we can talk about it, but when you tell me I'm wrong, you better be prepared to bring your information to the table of debate, and we'll talk. If you cannot prove yourself right, I will say bye and have a nice day. Now understand, I could be wrong, but I've spent most of my life researching and investigating claims on every level from every aspect. I believe I've done my best to find the information I need. We can talk, discuss, debate, and we can see what we have. At the end of the day, I will still buy you dinner. Enjoy. The one thing that people would say, and there were some hosts that say this to me and have, and other people have said, why do you want people to prove themselves? Nobody's going to do that. I'm not, I had somebody tell me, I'm not going to do that. I don't have to. Really? you really? You have to prove it to yourself. Hello? The only person that's going to say that I'm wrong is a person who gets the impression that I'm wrong, and they're going to use every negative trick in the book opposite of what I say to try to prove the legitimacy of their view. That's all. It's simple. Psychology 101. It's real simple. I know for a fact that people aren't going to do that. I know for a fact that people will say, well, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. 2 words. Cop out. 1 word. Coward. Nobody wants to admit to themselves that they're wrong. I admit to myself that I'm wrong when I see something and go, oh, wait a minute, over here, this and folks, when I'm wrong, I'll be the first in line to admit it. That's the bottom line. Why? It's real simple. I don't know everything. I see what I see. I look, and if I've overlooked something, doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means that I overlooked something. I was hearing a show on Spreaker here, and I'll tell you who it was. It was the Big DC Network show. And he was talking about information he was talking about why people believe in conspiracy theories. And he had information from Michael Shermer, Dr. Michael Shermer, who is part of I think he's either the editor or the publisher or something of Skeptic Magazine. I'm not quite sure. Somebody want to correct me on that, that's okay. And when he was, listing these things that Michael Shermer listed, he went down, DC went through the list. And I listened to all of them. And they're all bogus. Okay? They're all bogus, and I'll tell you why. Prime example. Somebody talks to you and somebody tells you that you're wrong, and you're kind of sitting there going, you may have a doubt. Well, I might be wrong. Let me go look. And you look and you find out that you're right, but then you go to that person and tell them, here it is, I'm right. I was right all along. And they're like, no, you weren't. And they're going to stay that way. Why? They don't want to admit they are wrong because they are cowards. And they will use everything opposite of what you say. They won't look at your information because they know you're right and they don't want to admit you're wrong. They're wrong. They know you're right. They don't want to admit they're wrong. So they're going to stand on their little box and they're going to say, no, I'm right. They're like a little kid that kicks their feet. You know those. Mothers out there have children. Fathers out there know this. The kids are going to stand there in the middle of the room and just jump up and down and kick their feet and fall on the ground and throw a temper tantrum. And these people are exactly the same way. No, I'm right and you're wrong. And they go off and they go believe their delusion. My whole point of all this is very simple. My whole point of all of this show is to tell you that, yes, I question people. If I hear something that is too unbelievable to me, I'm going to question it. Hello, it's common sense. I don't know why people can't do that, but I do that. Oh, I'm presuming people don't do that. Sorry, my apologies. But DC went down the list that Dr. Michael Shermer had, and every single one of those are bogus. And DC backed it up with, quote, I'm not here to prove or disprove anything, unquote. I'm like, dude, you just took the side of a person that's not looking at the whole thing. And then you're saying you're qualifying your ignorance by saying I'm not here to prove or disprove anything. Dude, I'm a paranormal investigator. If something's going on and little things are going bump in the night, I'm not there to prove or disprove that there's a ghost. I'm there to figure out what's going on. Oh, you got a rat in the wall? Okay. Call your pest control guy. Oh, you got loose boards in your floor? Pull up the carpet and nail them down a little bit. Oh, you got a light that keeps flickering and going on and off? Tighten the light bulb. Check your electrical. You got a thermostat that ain't acting right? How old's the house? What? Oh, well, you might need to change your thermostat. It's that simple, folks. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure this stuff out. Okay? I've been doing this research and investigation for over 35 years. I can tell you what is and is not and can be explained. Okay? It's that simple. Dr. Michael Shermer, with all his knowledge, is wrong. He's a skeptic. I've had skeptics go with me on investigations in allegedly haunted homes, and guess what? I've turned them around in a heartbeat. Why? Because they can't explain it, and they're skeptics. People, it is simple. It is simple. When you see a person negating everything you say or throwing to you the opposite, they're doing it because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. They don't. In the list, and you can go listen to the DC Network, Why People Believe in Conspiracy Theories. You go down the line. I only listened to maybe probably 10, 15 minutes of the show. It's only a half-hour show. And I listened to these things, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. People want to connect things that aren't really there? Psychology 101? Can you not I say that, and I use that term loosely. That's probably not in the curriculum of Psychology 101. But, of course, you look at something and go, oh, there's got to be something else. It's called curiosity. It's called, research and investigation. He said he had thousands of doctors and, papers from psychologists and psychiatrists. Yeah, and if you investigate those psychologists or psychiatrists, you will find that they are part of the APA, which is the American Psychiatric Association, which former members of that association have come out and said that every quote-unquote disorder, every, claim that they have in the DSM-4 and the DSM-5, the DSM-5 will come out in the spring, former members of the APA have already said it's bogus. Every single last one of those quote-unquote symptoms or whatever are bogus. Go to cchr.org. That'll tell you exactly what the psychiatry industry is like. There's a video out also that they put out called Psychiatry Industry of Death. Go check it out. That'll tell you what the psychiatrists do and have done and are still doing today. And you're going to believe a list that a known skeptic, Dr. Michael Shermer, puts together based on psychological or psychiatry evidence? Bogus. Period. Do I have information to back that up? How about going and investigating Dr. Michael Shermer himself? Wouldn't surprise you, would it, that he's involved in a lot of other things? I could be wrong. Anyway. Hey, Jen, you still hanging out in the chat room? See, Spreaker needs to change their chat because we'd like us hosts like to know who's coming and going. Okay? We would. It would be very cool to know. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to go to a little break. I'll be back in Oh, well, in a couple of minutes, a little over that. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. That is from 1984 by George Orwell. Do you really want to know what's going on? Come listen to The Views Express, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on the Liberty and Freedom Network.
Samo Radio, playing music for free so you can listen longer. Samo.
It's the 5 o'clock drive with Samo.
Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What's on your mind? Chances are it's on their mind too. Check out Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Only on Spreaker.com. I am back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. How you doing? Again, this show is not on a schedule, so check back on Spreaker every once in a while. And, hey, I might surprise you. I might be on, like today. So, now, I started out by talking about Alex Jones and Glenn Beck being right, and Michael Savage and all that. They are, period, end of sentence. Anybody that thinks otherwise, well, yeah, you're just not looking at the whole picture. And I also talked about skeptics and all this, and, the whole idea of conspiracy theories that the DC network, you can go look it up, why conspiracy theories, or why people believe conspiracy theories, or something like that. You can go look it up here on Spreaker. His opinions, not mine. Okay. But I want to touch upon that just a bit. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. None of it is. It's all out in the open. And give you something recent. There's a Texas senator who is putting a bill into the House calling for the impeachment of Barack Obama. There is a lot of people that want him impeached. But the machine of the Democratic Party, let's just call them what they are, the fascist democratic socialists, have got Washington, D.C. so wrapped up with their mafia buddies in Al-Qaeda and Muslim Brotherhood. Yes, go check it out. Muslim Brotherhood are in the White House. Go check it out. If I'm wrong, let me know. I have information to show that Muslim Brotherhood are part of the inside or inner circle of Barack Obama. So we have Washington, D.C. with all of their criminals, and we have other people wanting Obama impeached. More recently, today, either today, this week, tomorrow, whatever it is, Vice President Biden, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and President Barack Obama have literally come out in not so many words, in politispeak, have said that they want our guns. They want to abolish the Second Amendment. Insiders that have released stuff to alternative media have said that there are 19 executive orders that are going to be signed, or 19 parts of an executive order that is going to be signed that is going to affect the Second Amendment. Well, number one, that's illegal under constitutional law. Number two, it's unconstitutional, period, from the Founding Fathers' principles. And number three, it is impeachable. And number four, it's criminal. Now, there are a lot of shows out there talking about conspiratorial things or why people believe in conspiratorial things. And I have to say, if this executive order gets signed, and if people band together with their weaponry, I will say this. This is what the New World Order wants. They want us to fight the cops. They want us to fight the military. They want us to fight, to kill each other. And whoever is left, the New World Order, out of Washington, D.C., through Al-Qaeda or the Muslim Brotherhood, will come right behind those folks and enslave us. And not that we're not already enslaved, but they will take out the rest of us. And if we give up our weapons, they're going to throw us into forced labor camps called FEMA camps. They're going to do whatever it is they want to do because they want to collapse America. You don't think so? Last time I checked, 2 + 2 was 4. I think you should go figure this stuff out on your own because, I could be wrong because I don't know everything. There are times when we have to just say, enough's enough. There are times when we just have to say, hey, that's it. So I want to put the word out right now. And I don't care who hears this. I don't care who takes a clip from this show and punks it and makes fun of it because they're immature little assholes. Yes, I said it. And that's the way it is. Oh, there's some really nice people out there, and I know 2 of them right now that I don't have a problem with. I know 2 others that I'm still on the fence about. And the 2 that are really nice and very respectful, I want to say, you can email me anytime you want, and no question is off limits. That would be Sonny over at Mobster Boss Radio, and that would be Guy Shea. Email me all you want. Ask me any question you want. No question is off limits. I will give you an answer. And if I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. But I will also add to my answers of the things I do know. I will add links. I will add, different articles. I will add, resources. So expect that. And the other 2, that would be DC over at Big DC Network and JD over at Monster Boss Radio. I'm still on the fence about you guys. I know you hear me. I know, because I get information telling me that you do hear me. And if you don't, and if I'm wrong about that, please let me know. You can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Let me know. I'm just curious. I don't have anything against you guys, okay? I'm just saying, you're immature little, assholes that like to punk people and make fun of people and consider that and interpret that as being entertainment, and it's not. It's bogus BS, okay? I'm just saying, that's my opinion. I have a right to it. So, and anybody can ask me questions. No question is off limits. Well, I don't want to ask a stupid question. Well, the only stupid question that's there is the one you don't ask. If you're curious, ask. If you're curious, doesn't hurt to ask. Well, what's the worst I can say? What? I don't know. Ask me anything. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. No question is off limits. I also have Open Forum Friday, which is Spreaker chat and email. I don't want to use my Skype because, well, I've found out that if you get too many people on Skype at once, it crashes, and I just don't want to go through all that. It's just a real pain in the butt, to be honest with you. So any question you have, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, or on Fridays, Open Forum Fridays, you can come into the chat and ask me anything you want. We'll talk about, bring up a subject. I'll give you my opinion, and I'll read your opinion as well from the chat. Yeah, unless you want to send me your opinion on a certain subject that you want to talk about on Friday, that's fine. We can do that. It's all right. Getting back to the conspiracy theories, there are no theories anymore. All the conspiracies are out there for everybody to see. It's all out there. They're all hanging out there, but nobody wants to see it because nobody wants to step outside of their comfort zone in their little cookie-cutter world of delusion. They don't want to get outside of it because they don't want to admit, they don't have the balls or the guts to admit that they're wrong. Again, folks, little FYI, I could be wrong because I don't know everything. Okay, I don't want to get all Nietzsche on you, Friedrich Nietzsche, and say, well, I could be wrong because I don't know everything. I don't know everything because I could be wrong. No. I'm being honest with you. I don't know everything. And there are some aspects of things that I could be wrong about. No big deal. No big deal to me. I may have overlooked something. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means I overlooked it. No big deal. But getting back to the conspiracy theories. I don't know why. It's just me, just little old me right here. I don't know why people always want to negate or bring an opposition to anybody who is said to be a conspiracy theorist and purport that their information is correct. In other words, the opposition, say I say something and somebody else has an opposite view of that, and they're really adamant about it, and they say that I'm wrong, but they have no guts or really want to admit that they don't have any information to back up what they say, but they just will continue to say that I'm wrong when I can prove almost everything I'm saying. It's all right out there anyway. I've got documents on my, I've got copies and documents of information all over the place here. And I can prove everything I'm saying. Obama's after your guns, number one. Let's stay with recent history. Number one, Obama's after your guns. Number two, 9/11 was an inside job. That was it. That's bottom line. Murrah Building in Oklahoma City was an inside job. Bottom line, former cops have come out, blown the whistle, mysteriously died afterwards, put two and two together. There you go. Timothy McVeigh was a patsy, much like Lee Harvey Oswald. Kennedy was an inside job. Lyndon Baines Johnson wanted him out of office, or just wanted him out because he was going to do something that wasn't going to be profitable to Mr. LBJ. So, shall we go on? Gulf of Tonkin, 1968. CBS News reported that ships have been fired on and all that. One ship that was involved, quote unquote, involved in that came back to the port in San Diego, and CBS News was there, and all the sailors are going, no, nothing like that happened at all. Okay? So, there's so many things that our government does. Yes, sticking with recent history of this week, Obama wants to take our guns, wants to sign executive orders. He will take, as he says, executive action, which means executive orders, totally banning firearms everywhere, essentially abolishing the Second Amendment. Well, he did that anyway in December 31st, 2011. Then again, in December of 2012, he did it twice. He virtually gutted the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. Regardless of whether or not you want to believe that, he's done that. Go read the NDAA of 2012 and the NDAA of 2013. Same thing. Couple of things have changed. He is, remember when you were in high school, you had to go do homework and had to go look stuff up? Well, I'm just saying, go look stuff up. Okay? I don't know why, again, call it curiosity. I don't know why people, and I'm not bashing Big DC because it's his opinion. That's okay. I have a Second Amendment right to protect your First Amendment right. Hello. It's that simple. He has a right to say what he has to say, and that's okay. I will defend that. That's okay. I don't agree with him, but that's okay. He has a right to say it. But him and not just him, there's hundreds of people out there that talk like him. There's hundreds of people out there that are on the fence. There's thousands and thousands upon thousands of people who want to know the truth about what happened from Kennedy to 9/11. To Waco, Texas, Branch Davidian, when Janet Reno was in office, Attorney General. That was a fiasco. That was all set up. You can look at the videos. Scientists and researchers and firemen and all those folks looked at that and went, we killed those people. They did nothing wrong. Oh, they were stocking up on weapons. Yeah, and they had a Second Amendment right to do so. I stock up on food because when the crap hits the fan, I want to be able to take care of myself and my family. Does that make me a domestic terrorist? No. Do you know who the real domestic terrorists are? Oh, that would be Washington, D.C. You want to know on a local level who the domestic terrorists are? MS-13, all your Latino street gangs, every single street gang that is funded in some way by the profits from the drugs in Mexico and the drug cartels and the American government. Well, let me scratch that last two. The American government, we are the American government. Profits from the implementation of Fast and Furious. There you go. Don't believe it? Follow the money. Okay? All your street gangs are nothing more than domestic terrorists. They're little boys with big toys that think they can go bang bang. And they do. I worked closely with the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office and also the Stockton Police Department when I lived in Stockton, California. And believe me, if you walked in my shoes for the 3.5 years I worked closely with them, you will see I am right. It is a hellacious thing to walk onto a scene to see a young 16-year-old kid who had his life ahead of him be part of a gang of people terrorizing the neighborhood and dealing drugs to make a living, being shot up full of holes and dead. So I don't want to hear any more of your whiny crybaby bullcrap. The only other people that I know that can relate to what I'm saying are the former military or current military who have come back from Iraq and Afghanistan. I don't want to hear any more of your whiny little, go wipe your ass someplace else. Don't do it here. Yeah, yeah, right, yeah. I just had a thought, and the thought is, if somebody takes this clip and says, look, he melted down again, good. If you don't have a heart for other people and want to stick up for the rights and freedoms and the liberties that we have in this country, pack your bags and get the hell out now. You don't like it? You're going to punk my show? You're going to take clips and criticize everything I say? Bye. Have a nice day. And enough about them. I know what it is to look into the eyes of a child and see, because I have nieces, okay? and see a future ahead of them that you know damn well they're going to struggle in. Look into the eyes of your own kids and ask yourself, what world am I leaving them? What am I going to do to protect them? Because our government's not going to, our city's not going to, our county is not going to, our states are not going to protect them. Mom and dad or mom is going to have to protect them. And you better know what you're doing. Because this government is a criminal government and they're coming after your guns. And if you think just for a slight moment that I am wrong, your hesitation could kill you. You better look at the whole thing. You better look at this huge paradigm that we have, this right-left paradigm, and ask yourself, is this real? No. The right-left, Democratic, Republican, conservative, liberal, that's all bogus bullcrap. You know what? I equate that to this. You've been to church. I'm sure you have. You've heard the preachers. You know. But I've also sat down and talked with Jehovah's Witnesses. I've talked with Mormons. I've talked with Muslims. I've talked with Muslims. Hello. Does that make me a terrorist? Stockton, California is just one of the bigger places on the West Coast that has Muslim churches, Muslim temples, whatever they call them. I don't know. So that's why. I've talked to Catholics. I've talked to Protestants. I've sat down and talked with these people. I guarantee you this. It was very educational for me. But it's all one energy, labeled with our labels that we put on it for our egos to understand. It's an egotistical thing. We want it to be for us. That's what it is. But we label it, limiting that energy in the universe we call a higher power, God, Nirvana, you name it, it's there. And that's what the politicians are doing. They're not on our side. Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's labels. It's one party. It's called the New World Order. September 11th, 1991, George H.W. Bush in front of Congress talked about it. You don't believe me? What? You're sitting there going, oh, that's ridiculous. Really? Seriously? You're going to tell me I'm wrong?
Of its founders.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Now you know. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear you whining and griping and bitching and moaning and groaning about, and taking clips from my show and saying, oh, he's melted down again. By the way, just so you know, I like Guy Shea. I think he's got a great show, Guy Shea Show here on Spreaker. The Guy is his show. Go check it out. I mean, it's really, really good. I have nothing against the guy. Seriously, I have nothing against him. Honestly, yeah, I criticize him, but him and I have, through email and such, have talked, and guess what? He's cool. He's all right. I give him a high five on that. Just didn't like the fact that he took parts of my show without me knowing about it and discussing it. I'd like to be there. That's like you going behind somebody's back. Why don't you just go to the person and say, hey, you know what? makes things a whole lot nicer to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It does. It's common sense. It's the right thing to do. Okay. So if anybody has anything to say to me, email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. I have nothing against Guy Shea. He's got his show is his show. He does what he does. That's okay. He has a right to do that. That's fine. It's okay. But I'm telling you, we need to prepare ourselves because these yahoos in Washington, D.C. are about ready to, well, to take our guns. Seriously. Seriously. I'll get more into that on the Views Expressed at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here on Spreaker. The Views Express Live. Check it out, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And Jen in the chat room here on Spreaker says that she had to go somewhere. I don't know where she went. But she says her new hermit crab is stupid. She likes hermit crabs. I don't know why. Wasn't there a hermit crab in what was it? There was, oh my God, Little Mermaid. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, I saw Little Mermaid. That was pretty cool. All right. Anyway, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So, God, do you hate that feeling? I want to play this. I played this on the show on the Views Express Live last night. But I really want people to know the real numbers, the facts behind everything about gun control, okay? Not gun control itself, but the facts behind what was claimed on the debate between Alex Jones and Piers Morgan, which was last Monday on CNN. Larry Pratt slammed Piers Morgan with all the facts as well. So if you got a clip of that, now I'll go look for it too, but if you got a clip of that, please send that to me. Larry Pratt and on Piers Morgan. I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday of last week. And if you got a clip, please send that to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. And I played this last night, but it's worth repeating because, hey, it's the facts.
Last night on CNN's Piers Morgan Tonight, Morgan interviewed radio host Alex Jones. And to say it was wild, well, that would be an understatement. Here's just a small clip.
Answer this question. How many
Why'd you get fired from the Daily Mirror for putting out fake stories? You're a hatchet man of the New World Order.
Let's try again. How many gun murders were there?
Oh, you're going to ban your fist now?
In Britain last year.
How many chimpanzees can dance on the head of a pin? I already went over those statistics.
Do you know the answer?
No, I don't.
You said hundreds.
It's very low.
You said hundreds.
Yes.
It's actually 35.
Well, the point is you can...
Against 11,000.
As I said, it was wild, and it got even more wild than that. But we wanted to take a look at some of that exchange, because the stat that Piers Morgan was continuing to cite, one that Great Britain, which banned guns about 15 years ago, had only 35 gun-related murders in 2011, compared to the United States, which had 11,000. Let's start there, because that number is not correct. According to FBI crime stats for 2011, there were 12,664 homicides in the U.S. Of those, 8,583 were caused by firearms. But of those, 400 are listed as justifiable homicide by law enforcement, 260 justifiable homicide by private citizens. On the other hand, it is true that percentage-wise, Britain has a lower gun homicide rate. With a population of 62.6 million, Great Britain saw 59 gun-related homicides for 2011. Still not the 35 Piers Morgan keeps citing. But that shouldn't be surprising that the gun homicide rate in a country that bans guns would be lower than in a country where guns are not banned. Where the argument falls apart is when you attempt to claim that fewer guns equals less crime. The U.S. has the highest gun ownership rate in the world, an average of 88 guns per 100 people. That puts it first in the world for gun ownership. Yemen is second with 54.8 guns per 100 people. So that means the U.S. has the highest gun murder rate as well, right? Well, no. Honduras, El Salvador, and Jamaica have higher rates. So do 24 other countries. The U.S., despite being number 1 in gun ownership, is number 28 in gun homicide with a rate of 2.97 per 100,000 people. Of course, Piers Morgan isn't calling for the U.S. to be more like El Salvador and Honduras. He's calling for us to be more like Great Britain. So what do the numbers look like there? The UK has the second highest overall crime rate in the EU. The UK has the 5th highest robbery rate, the 4th highest burglary rate. But more importantly, the EU named Britain as the most violent country in the EU. In the UK, there are 2,034 violent crimes per 100,000 people. That puts it way ahead of even South Africa, with a rate of 1,609 per 100,000. In the United States, we're not even in the top 10. The U.S. has a violent crime rate of 466 crimes per 100,000 residents. So what this means for you is that while people like Morgan insist that the U.S. can learn from Great Britain, well, maybe we can. What we might learn is that violent crime is not the result of a gun or any tool. It is the result of the heart of men and women. And that is Reality Check.
That is Reality Check with Ben Swan. You got the figures right. So why don't you gun-grabbing, fascist, democratic, socialist pigs back off? We ain't giving up our guns. We're not going to do any of that. Why? Because we have a Second Amendment. That's why. You don't like it? We don't care. We're gonna keep our guns. We're gonna keep our money. We're gonna keep our food. We're gonna keep planting vegetable gardens on our property. You can keep the change. And by the way, don't be too surprised if if Congress impeaches President Obama. Your little garbage person, whatever.
Tired of all the music shows on Spreaker? Too many sports shows? How about a show that matters? I recommend The Views Expressed Live. Reverend Wayne S. Pierce tells you what is really happening in the world. Well, stop listening to this and go listen to the show. The Views Expressed Live, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, on Spreaker.com.
For the best Southern, classic, and new rock, along with kicking country and R&B, check out Wildcat Radio for the Friday Night Party. The fun begins at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, with local, state, and national news from the Alabama News Network at the top and bottom of every hour. It's Wildcat Radio's Friday Night Party, a division of the Vulcan Internet Broadcast Company.
Come join Reverend Laura Clemens and me, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, on The Unnamed Show, Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Yes, this is the Wayne S. Beer Show. How you doing? We got a few minutes left here. You can get a hold of me at Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Go to the website. You'll even be able to listen to the views expressed live there in the podcast. Go to the website at freeamericaradio.wix. That's wix.com/the views expressed. That's freeamericaradio.wix.com/the views expressed. Yes, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. This, Wayne S., not ass, Wayne S. Pierce. That would be me. This show was not on a schedule, so keep popping over on Spreaker to see if it's on live. It's periodically throughout the day at different times, you know. Maybe not on, every day, but check it out. Yeah. So anyway, I just get on here and say what's on my mind, basically. I don't have any notes in front of me. I just, whatever pops into my head, I tell you. But I'm planning on making this a little bit better, a little bit more focused on issues than anything. Jen, the Love Muffin, is in the Spreaker chat. She loves it when people call her that. So anyway, she laughed, and I'm like, what? What was funny, man? I don't know. Anywho, this, like I said, this show is just on periodically, not on every day, but I do plan on making it bigger and making it longer. There's a lot of things that I incorporate in this show that I put on the Views Express live here on Spreaker, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yes, I like to plug my own show because I want you people to listen. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can go check out the material all you want. I mean, it's all right there. Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Go check that out. You can also check out my Facebook page, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Go check that out. Go like it. Go enjoy it, I hope. Oh, yeah, that thing. Yeah, Wayne S. Pierce. That's my name. And sometimes I say it so fast it sounds like I'm an ass. There you go. Anyway, that was a joke, people. All right? Just a joke. Anyway, with Obama trying and attempting through executive order and through his kingly decrees, trying to take our Second Amendment rights and abolish the Second Amendment and take our weapons, I think it's time for America to say enough's enough. How about you? You think banner hangs, you think signs, you think, whatever you need to do legally, go find legal places to put this stuff at. Well, I was going to say something else, but yes, go find the legal places to put this stuff up. And just go over to your overpasses and put banner hangs up there and everything else. I mean, some little walking bridge that goes over one of the streets in your city, or something. Go out there late at night and just, put a sign up there, a little banner, big, take a sheet and write something on it and just hang it over the side, and let people know that you're really pissed off at this current regime. Yes, they're not an administration. They are a regime. They're a democratic, socialist, Marxist, fascist regime that is in Washington, D.C., that is out to destroy the country. Friends of mine don't think so because they're just they're that, really. I don't know why. They're quite intelligent human beings, and I just don't see how they can ignore any of this. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see how I don't see why they're ignoring any of this. I just don't. I really don't, honestly. It's pretty intelligent people out there. But they're on the fence. They're out there. They're just... Yeah, they need to know that they need to wake up.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. Should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight, we're going to live on, we're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. You've been listening to the Wayne S. Pierce Show. That would be me. Email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. I will see you later today on the Views Expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com.